They say podcasts are going to replace books. I don't know about that, but I do think TRS clips will assist your learning process. I've got to ask you this from my own personal experience and from speaking to a lot of friends. Stretching, mobility, yoga, these things are kind of coming to the forefront all over the world in the world of health. I have noticed that friends of mine who practice specific forms of yoga, where it is a little bit strength-based, it actually benefits the way their frame looks overall. Like if they combine it with weight training, you have to kind of do weight training. That's the base of it. But you do get these slight visual benefits when you also focus on your flexibility, also focus on your mobility. Let's keep Hrithik Roshan in mind for this.
Okay.
Now, he's a fucking amazing dancer. Like, in order to be that level of a dancer, you have to be extremely flexible. And I'm sure that he does some flexibility work to maintain that level of flexibility at his age. He's what, like 45-ish?
He's the same age as me, 48.
That's crazy. And he's still a fantastic dancer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure he's done a lot of flexibility work. And I'm sure that adds something to the training program. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know his body the best. And I want to know the science of this, if there is any. And even if there's not a peer-reviewed study yet, would you believe that higher flexibility and higher mobility actually changes the shape of your body? Because I used to see this with guys in my gym as well. The ones who didn't do any mobility work, they're clearly like really stiff. I feel like the end product with their bodies also wasn't as good as the people who actually focused on the mobility and flexibility. So what do you think?
So there isn't a right or wrong answer to that. So when you're looking at somebody like, for instance, a Hrithik who needs to dance, who needs to do stunts, well, he used to do his own stunts, a lot of action scenes, there needs to be a lot of flexibility. And with the amount of injuries that that guy has had over the years, he needs to be very flexible. So he spends nearly as much time with flexibility, mobility, and muscle activation as he does training every single day. Like it was probably about 45 minutes of stretching this morning before his lifting session, you know, and the lifting session was an hour. So he's religious about that. Now, does that change the way that his physique looks? I don't know, because like I know a lot of bodybuilders and powerlifters who don't do any flexibility because they feel it compromises them when they're lifting extremely heavy weights. They don't feel like they're stuck in a groove when they're doing a heavy deadlift or a bench press or anything like that because they're too mobile. They feel like they need to be fixed in to a certain degree.
Is there science behind that?
Yeah, so there is some science that shows that if you do any like stretching or PNF stretching or anything like that prior to working out, it can decrease your strength. However, you could look at the other side of the coin and go, doesn't matter if my strength has decreased a little bit. I just want to look good and feel good and not get injured. You know, so there's two sides to that coin. But if you look at like the top bodybuilders on the Olympia stage today, for instance, I don't think many of them are really stretching that much. There's a couple that I know, like there's a guy called Hunter Labrada, who's probably going to be top 5 in the Olympia this year. He stretches religiously before his workouts, but he's one of the very, very few guys of that size that actually does.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think there's more research to be done in this?
Yeah, probably, for sure. Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more research. Like I stretch in between every single one of my sets. I'll do a little bit of muscle activation before my workouts, especially on larger muscle groups like legs, and it definitely helps me. You know, I feel that, you know, we're talking about stretching the muscle fascia through blood flow. Well, if you can stretch the fascia through extreme stretching as well and manipulation through massage, then it can only benefit, I believe.
Thank you for watching this clip. If you want to learn more about this topic, we've curated a playlist just for you, and here's a link to the whole episode.